Fedor, 31 years of age, just 6 foot, 230 pounds, very unassuming. He is a world champion in Sambo, judo expert as well. Tim the Maniac Sylvia, 6'8", 263 pounds of raw anger and pain. Tim Sylvia, introduce yourself to Fedor. Towering at 6'8", this former UFC champ comes in with a childhood chip on his shoulder. He's the Maniac, Tim Sylvia.
Every fight I'm in, I just have this will that I do not want to lose no matter what. When we step into this ring on July 19th, I'm looking to hurt Fedor. I'm looking to tell him that I am one of the best out there, and no matter what happens, he's going to come away in this fight hurt. Always had that nagging person yelling at me, screaming at me, beating me, saying I'm never going to amount to anything, never going to be anything. Well, I get to go out there and prove them wrong as well. I just got to be in Fedor's face. I got to rough him up, big man him, push him around, throw him around the ring, and just be in his face, let him know he's in a fight. I think I can beat him. Otherwise, I wouldn't be taking this fight. Fedor, I'm coming in there to beat you. I'm coming out number one in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a maniac in the house coming to the ring, Tim Sylvia.
Well, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia, says he's in the best position you can ever be in because not a soul on this planet is expecting him to take out the much shorter, much more subdued Fedor Emelianenko.
Tim Sylvia, you know, always very boisterous, always very, look, man, hey, I deserve my just due. You better go ahead and pay attention to me as well. I'm a former UFC champ as well, guys. Let's go ahead and pay attention to me in the heavyweight division. No one seems to. The best way to make a statement, go ahead and knock out the #1 guy in the world. We got no choice but to listen and pay attention to you the rest of your career.
Steps right over that top rope, a la Big John Studd, Big John McCarthy. You've seen him fight. Have you ever seen him with this sort of attitude before?
You know what? The one thing you got to say about Tim Sylvia, he gets more out of what God gave him than any other fighter I know. And the one thing that God did give him is an incredible heart and a streak of I don't quit. And Tim doesn't. He is tough as hell.
Well, the guy who he's going to face is the man we've all been waiting to see. The great one. It is Fedor Emelianenko. America, meet Fedor. Armed with quiet confidence and unrivaled skills, he fights for himself, his team, and Mother Russia. They say he's the best. Fedor Emelianenko.
На бой я выхожу. Когда я иду на бой, я стараюсь ни о чем не думать и собраться в себе, сконцентрироваться. Это мне побеждает принимать решения, помогает принимать решения в нужные критические моменты. Каждая победа мне дорога, каждая победа далась мне большим трудом. Смог победить, смог сделать это. Я всегда помню, что за мной моя команда, которая помогает мне, делает для меня все, чтобы я был чемпионом. Моя страна, в которой меня ждут победителями.
And now, the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko.
Oh My goodness, boys, this is what we were talking about. He looks like the executioner walking down to the ring to do his job. Move over, Ivan Drago. This guy is the real deal in Russian nightmares.
He is expressionless when he walks down. He looks like my kid every time he's in trouble. He's got to go, he knows he's going to meet the executioner, but the guy that you would not want to have walking down those steps to you is Fedor Emelianenko. He is absolutely the most dominant heavyweight that has ever been in mixed martial arts.
I got a chance to sit down with him for about an hour last time we were together, and he said, you know, sometimes when I'm beating up my opponents, I start to feel bad for them, so I let up, show them sympathy, and when they take advantage of my generosity, I end the fight.
That's kind of what happened with him and Fujita. He kind of let Fujita punch him around a little bit. Kind of stung him. He finally got tired of it. Armbarred him to finish the fight very quickly.
Him and Coleman, him and Randleman, him and anybody who's ever done anything to him.
You're right, Big John. You're right. Big John was correcting me. It was a choke on Fujita.
Yes, it was. A rear naked choke.
So one time he didn't do an armbar.
Yeah. You know what? His sambo is so good, and he's so explosive that he is absolutely a dangerous man, no matter if he's on his feet or on the ground.
And he very rarely gets hurt. Let's send it now into the ring to Michael Buffer for our heavyweight championship fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Honda Center, Anaheim, California, Affliction Event and M1, in association with Roy Engelbrecht Events, is proud to present the Affliction Band main event of the evening. For the very first time in history, an MMA independently recognized contest for the heavyweight championship of the world. Scheduled for five-minute rounds, sanctioned by the WAMMA and the California State Athletic Commission. Chairman Tim Noonan, Executive Officer Armando Garcia, Assistant Executive Officer Bill Douglas, Event Supervisor Che Guevara. And inside the ring when the action begins, your referee in charge, Herb Dean. And now, it's time for a moment of history. Are you ready? MMA fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the red corner, standing 6'8", officially weighing 263 pounds. His record, 24 victories, including 16 knockouts with 2 submissions. Only 4 defeats. From Bettendorf, Iowa, the former UFC heavyweight champion, Maniac Silva. Fighting out of the blue corner, he stands 6 feet tall and officially weighs 230 pounds. His record, 27 victories, only 1 defeat. 6 by KO, 14 by submission. From Staroyarsk, Russia, the former Pride FC heavyweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Dame y Господа, the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We will have a clean fight. Touch gloves, let's make it official.
Very interesting. Neither fighter looking at each other. Not one time did they look up and look in each other's eyes. Fedor expressionless. Tim Sylvia says again, I have nothing to lose. It's finally here. The Affliction people give it to us. Fedor Emelianenko on U.S. soil, fighting the former UFC heavyweight champ in Tim Sylvia.
This is the kind of fight you live for right here.
Again, this is for the WAMA heavyweight belt. Big John. Oh, nice. Sharp bless there by hurt. Tim Sylvia goes down. This is what Fedor does best. Fedor immediately hooking in the hooks, going for a rear naked choke. Can it be over this fast?
This is the same position Randy Couture had Tim Sylvia, but he's got that again.
He tapped out. He tapped out. 36 seconds.
That is what
Fedor Emelianenko. You want to know why? He is the greatest fighter on the planet today. That is why. Tim Sylvia shaking his head in disbelief. That, folks, is the Michael Jordan, the Tiger Woods, the Rocky Marciano of our sport.
he hits like Rocky Marciano because he absolutely leveled Tim Sylvia.
Can you believe that? I was about to say, remember you guys were sitting there, I was like, just wait for it, he's about to move, And before I could get it out, he just jumped into it and went crazy. That is how you attack a fight. That is how you do it.
For all those people who have questioned the level of competition, you can't question it any longer. Fedor Emelianenko, quite frankly, is the baddest SOB on this planet.
There is no more argument anymore. You have other people that are in contention for pound, the best in the world right now, all this other, but pound for pound, the best guy in the world in mixed martial arts is Fedor Emelianenko. There's nobody else in any weight class can do what he does. Not BJ Penn's, not your George St. Pierre's, nobody. None of those guys can do what he does. Fedor Emelianenko is a step above everybody else that's fighting in MMA right now.
I tell you what, Frank, as much as you and I have seen him, and we've done so many shows on him in the Pride Fighting Championships on FSN, he still amazes.
Dude, I have to be honest with you, that's probably one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, and I've called 7 of his fights, 8 of his fights, and I get to sit in the exact same seat every time I see him fight. This is the first time I was actually a little nervous. Tim has a very long reach, knows how to use his reach, knows how to keep a guy away from him, but he couldn't stop Fedor tonight.
I tell you what, the Affliction people, we have a great future in store, because whether or not you have him against Arlovsky, maybe Randy Couture, wow, Fedor Emelianenko showing the American fans why he is the baddest of the bad. Now he's thinking, I came all the way to America for this, 36 seconds.
Well, he kind of likes America. Gets to hang out a little while.
He does.
I'm sure he'll be at Disneyland tomorrow.
I don't know. And here's a guy, folks, also, he's a huge star in Russia, but lives in the town that he grew up and actually has a house, gave it to his mom. He lives in a little apartment, or probably not so little, but lives in an apartment with his wife. Wow. Let's send it up now into the ring with Michael Buffer for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 36 seconds of round number 1. He now holds the WAMMA World Championship belt and surely must be recognized as the undisputed MMA heavyweight champion of the world, the last emperor, Fedor Emelianenko.
Frankie, let's go through this fight real quick. Look at that huge move there by Fedor.
Comes over the top.
So fast.
Oh. That's what we're talking about, how Vitor Belfort used to punch so many years ago, and that's what we're looking to get for Vitor to come back. And Fedor shows it how a big guy this size can still do that.
And Tim Sylvia admitted, I don't have anybody to train with who does what Fedor does. I tried to get 4 different guys to help me out, but obviously it didn't help.
Nobody does what Fedor does. If you're fighting him, it's impossible to find a guy that can punch you in the head like that. Then, with a 6-foot frame on top of a 6'7" frame, sticking both hooks, flip you over onto your back, and stick in a rear naked choke that was only used with the forearm. So he's got power, strength, and technique on top of it.
That's one of those old-fashioned chokes. Wasn't even really the rear naked, didn't have it fully locked in.
You take a look at this, nice and deep. Just the forearm, like I said before. Didn't put it all the way into a rear naked choke like Jay said. It's really amazing to see a guy like this that's able to pull something off.
And look at his face when he's done. It's the same face that he had when he walked into the ring. He is expressionless. He's emotionless. He goes to work, whips your butt, goes back home. See you later. Let's have dinner.
That's it.